Teaching by the Spirit is the key to changing lives. As priesthood leaders go into the homes of the less active, they must invite the Lord's Spirit to be with them. When hearts are softened by the Spirit, the process of change begins.
Yeah, my husband's really a strong person, and other people had come to visit him, but it just seemed like they just visited. I think it was the sincerity, and my husband said that the Spirit was there. I mean, he could feel the Spirit there. I mean, it was just totally different.
Since then, we as a bishopric have gone out every week, sometimes twice, and had marvelous experiences. Always with the idea that they were not going to be normal types of visits, but they were going to be visits where we weren't there to talk about the weather or sports or things like that, but to teach.
We had decided about 6 months ago that we really needed to come back to church. It was going to be a difficult transition to come back to a ward that we didn't know anybody, didn't have any friends, or we'd just moved into the ward.
There are a couple of things that point out the Lord's direction in this work. I feel that the Lord has prepared the people for us to visit them. And almost every home that we've gone to, there's been something in that individual's life that has caused them to think about the gospel and their relationship to the church prior to our visiting in their homes.
While we were inactive, you know, there's always a feeling that there's something missing in your life. And but just barely before Christmas, we'd decide, well, we'll wait the first of the year, then we'll make that commitment. And just barely before Christmas, the bishopric all showed up at our house. I was like, how do they know that we made that decision that we're going to start going back?
We ran around back and talked to him, and very specifically just, you know, challenged him, talked to him, told him we loved him, why we were there, and then asked if we could have a word of prayer. Always we have a word of prayer, thinking that you can say things in prayer that you can't say any other way. That's been very effective, just to pray with the people and again, have this be kind of a different kind of a prayer where you talk about their children and the things that are going on in and around the world, how they need to change, and they know that they need to change, and their children need the influence of the church. And we talk to them after that kind of a manner, and with a lot of times people feel the Spirit and tears are shed.
Our bishop knew us and came with the bishopric and the executive council and met with us in our home and invited us to come back, put his arm around us and wanted us where we should be. And it's a wonderful feeling to know that the bishop is there and knows your feelings and knows what you need when you need it.
The Spirit really doesn't need to back you up a great deal when you just spar. But when you really step out and say something that takes courage, or you do things that take courage, then the Spirit knows that it has to back you up, and it happens. And when that happens, then the people feel the Spirit, and they know that things are different there, and that you aren't there just as a normal type of an individual, but you're there as one of the Lord's ministers. And we're excited about it in our ward. It's been a marvelous experience. We look forward to doing it more than we do anything else. It is becoming a burden to go to the office and to do the things which I think we did for a year, whereas now we look forward to it a great deal. I search sometimes for people to go with when others can't. We found that there's a power to having 3 or 4 brethren standing on the step instead of 1 or 2. 2 can be interpreted as a home teaching visit by people who have been inactive for a long period of time. 1 person, it seems that they, even though you're the bishop, they seem to understand there's 1. But when 3 or 4 appear, they're taken back. And then when you go in and you talk to them and really have a marvelous experience, they really feel things that I don't know that they would have otherwise.
You don't ever give up, because you never know when when something's going to touch you in your life. And somebody, you don't know who it is going to be. It's usually the most unexpected time in your life this happens.
Feels like coming back home.
It's difficult to have been away and to try and come back. There's an emptiness that's just, it has to be bridged.
It's been a marvelous experience. We love it. And it's our testimony that is really where we ought to be, is out seeing the folks.